Exclusive on Extra Session. A Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate production.
Biggest thing we can do is just get stops and run. Stops and run, guys. Push, push, push every time.
Extra Session with Kiko Malicdem tackles everything about the world of sports, especially the one close to the host's heart, basketball. Updates, discussion, clarification, name it. Extra Session has it. Extra Session with Kiko Malicdem. Exclusive on Extra Session.
Okay, good day once again, sports fans. Welcome to a special episode of Extra Session with Kiko Malicdem. And I am here right now with the man, or let's say woman of the moment for Philippine basketball. She's the latest Filipino to be recognized in America for her basketball talents. Ladies and gentlemen, Gilas women basketball standout, Patrice Fajardo. Good day, Ella.
Hello, good evening from here in the US. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, congrats on the latest news wherein you have committed to US NCAA Division I program, the Farleigh Dickinson University Knights.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah, how are you doing right now? Especially, of course, with the coronavirus thing. How are you doing right now? How do you keep yourself in shape?
My family and I are well. We just recently got out of quarantine about a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Everything's starting to open up slowly but surely. But my family and I, we've been staying home, and just to keep fit, I actually just enrolled in this facility where Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's strength and conditioning. So a lot of, lifting weights and running even just to get my body prepped for the collegiate level.
I see. So how did you come up with the said decision that you would go to Farleigh Dickinson? What was the biggest factor for you to choose the said school?
I think that the largest factor was the fact that the coaches loved me as equally as I loved them. You could just tell by the countless calls that we had, communicating with each other, and them always supporting my games and being there for me, and always asking me like, hey, so how's the national Philippine team going? And, understanding my priority for the Philippines as well. They get it. And I just knew that, the fact that they liked me for who I was, even outside of basketball, that type of perspective, it's not like that with all the other coaches sometimes. So that was the deciding factor, I feel like.
Aside from Farleigh Dickinson, what were the other schools that you have on your list?
The other schools that were definitely recruiting me were Yale University, Emory, the Naval Academy, the University of Chicago, New Jersey Institute of Technology, Drew. There were a few really good ones, especially academic-wise.
Wow, that's a lot of schools, So it's very hard for your part to trim them down,
Right.
Yeah. So recruitment is kind of different here in the Philippines and in US. How was the recruitment done in your part?
On my part, I'd say that starting from when I was a freshman in high school, I am in this travel team / club called New Jersey Sparks, and every year we go to do something called the Nike Nationals, which is something that all teams have to qualify for, and I'm part of something called EYBL, Elite Youth Basketball League, which is solely sponsored by Nike. Like they pay for your plane ticket, and they give you gear and all that, but it's just a selected few. So every year our team would go to Chicago and Kentucky to play on the Nike National stage, where schools from all over the world would basically go to you, and then if they like you, they put you on the list, and if they like you even more, they also watch your high school games.
I see. So for the benefit of those who are still, clueless about you, how tall are you, and what position do you play inside the basketball court?
I'm about 5'4" to 5'5", and I've been a point guard basically all my life.
Is it very hard? Of course, you know the saying that height is might in basketball, and for you to stand around 5'4" and then play point guard, is it really? I mean, is it hard adjusting to that?
Mhm. I'd say that it is difficult, especially if you're a person like looking outside and you kind of just see, how I look. But honestly, playing Philippine basketball, especially, like, it's taught me how to play with my heart, with puso, and
Yes.
just having that mental toughness, that Mamba mentality. So really, I don't feel it on the court. Like looking at my opponents, we're kind of just at the
Yeah.
same level. It just comes down to
Exclusive
skill and decision
on
making,
Extra
and
Session.
just being a leader on the court.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. You were born and raised in America, right? Yes. Have you visited the Philippines already?
I actually have. I used to go every single year because my dad's family is
Mhm.
from Manila, and my mom
Yes.
also has family in Bacolod because that's where she was born and raised. So they actually made a priority to send me back to the Philippines with them, so that I could still be attached to my roots.
I see. That's good. That's good to hear, because sometimes, we have some feel Americans who actually do not know or doesn't have any connection to their mother
Right.
country because, they seldom visit the Philippines. But in your case, it's different. So at least once a year, you were able to visit the country.
Right. I thank my parents for that so much.
Yeah. So now having the chance to play in Division One NCAA basketball is not actually easy at all, and let alone it is a great opportunity for you to showcase your talent and hone your skills. What do you think can you bring to your new school, especially that the Knights finish, if I'm not mistaken, around 500 mark in the win-loss column last season?
Right. I know for a fact the head coach from Farleigh Dickinson University told me that they really need my leadership skills. They need me to be the quarterback of the court. So for sure, I'm going to bring with me my communication skills to make sure that everyone on the team we're on the same page, and I just need to be that extension of the main coach.
I see.
To communicate with my teammates, face to face, because your coach can't really, go up to you and say all the instructions, but definitely like to take the instructions of the coach so that we can do it as effectively as possible on the court while, still having the defense intact and, just doing my best to have everyone on the same page.
I see. So you posted on your social media that your story has not been easy and that you had to work out or work hard to prove yourself every day. Can you care to share what does it mean?
Sure. Definitely just countless hours in the gym. I'd say that I've put in 150, if not 200% of practice in the gym, just because I know that my height already puts me at a disadvantage, so I have to just work harder and harder. But I wouldn't be the person that I am today if it weren't for that quote unquote disadvantage, which I think that I have honestly turned into an advantage. And it keeps me humble, but it makes me
Exclusive
work
on
even harder and
Extra
harder on the court,
Session.
and in games you could definitely see that.
So to whom do you attribute your success to basketball?
I'd say honestly, primarily my parents. They've been supportive of me since day one, and honestly, they never really pushed me to play basketball. It was kind of like something I just picked up in third grade, and they saw my competitive nature, and they let me play the sport I love, to be honest. And sometimes I feel like that's a problem for children. They
Yes.
want to be active and they want to play sports, but sometimes they're just missing that support system from their family. Whether that's transportation, driving them back and forth, or even buying them the necessary supplies and, all that stuff.
Okay. So you played for the Gilas 3x3 team in last year's FIBA 3x3 World Under 18 World Cup, wherein
Yeah.
the Philippines finished in the top eight, and
Yeah.
now that you will bring your talent to US NCAA, Women's WNCAA. Will there be any problem for you representing the Philippines in international tournaments, since the schedule might be one of the problems?
Honestly, no, because since the beginning, they've known about my
on
career in the
Extra
Philippines regarding
Session.
playing for the U18 team and being part of that 19-person pool of the Philippine national team as a whole.
Yes.
And they always ask me about my 3x3 experience, and they actually have two players on their team right now who play for Spain, overseas
Oh,
players,
okay.
and actually one of the assistant coaches played in Greece. So
Oh,
they,
I
they
see.
really get that, and that's another factor as to why I decided to go there, because they know how much I prioritize representing my country, and they know that the responsibility that I have for the Philippines is no joke. So whenever I'm called to represent the flag, I will be ready.
So, how's your relationship with Gilas women's head coach Patrick Aquino and the rest of the team, especially the seniors? Now,
Mhm.
have you already met them or have you already played with them in practice?
Yes, I have. They are definitely family, Coach Pat. Actually, just this February, he came here to the U.S. to check it out, to look at some recruits, and he actually went to a game of mine at my school. So, that's how tight we are and how supportive he is of me. And, after that, we took him out and we ate together and we just talked about our families. And in regards to the Gilas Pilipinas women's team, that's where I practice
Mm-hmm.
before going to the 3x3 World Cup and Asia Cup. So they're definitely my family. They've helped me. They've played. I've played against them. I've played with them, and they're just my sisters, and they always look out for me.
I see. Yeah, knowing Coach Patrick, well, I have interviewed him before, and his players, just the same. They treat Coach Patrick as their second father because of
Right,
of how he cares for his players, especially off the court.
right. Yeah,
So,
it's true.
so how do you see yourself, let's say,
Exclusive
in
on
5 years from now?
Extra Session.
Okay, 5 years from now. Okay, by 5 years from now, I think I finished college, and definitely, I think I'd want to spend another, because I'd have one more remaining collegiate year, and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
I get to spend that somewhere in the Philippines in
Okay.
some type of university. That's what I'm thinking of. Um, time will tell, but definitely after that, I'm thinking about coaching actually.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe coaching other girls to teach them, to help them develop, and the fact that I've gone through and know the process of things, I just want to give the opportunity to other young Filipina aspiring athletes.
Actually, that was my next question. Of course, no one can play basketball forever. Well, I mean, I was going to ask you, what else do you want to do aside from basketball? Uh, do you see yourself playing in the WNBA?
WNBA, I haven't thought about it that hard just because
Mm-hmm.
I really want to play full time for the Gilas women's national
Okay.
team, because I do also want to travel the world, and I know that basketball could give me that opportunity if I stick with the program.
I see. Now, I have a list of questions. So basically, just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. So
Sure.
before we wrap things up.
Yeah.
Okay. First, favorite basketball player, male and female.
Okay. Male, Kobe Bryant. Female, Sue Bird.
Wow, same here. Yeah. Next, favorite basketball team growing up.
Favorite basketball? Golden State. I was for Golden State for a long time.
Let me guess, Steph Curry.
Yeah, it was before their reign too. So
Okay. See, any celebrity
any
crushes.
oh no, I don't even think about it like that.
Exclusive on
Jason
Extra
Tatum
Session.
from Celtics.
Oh, yeah. now, now, of course, your mom and dad might not like this question, but
Uh-huh.
do you have special someone right now?
No, I do not. I do not have special someone right now.
Are they listening right now?
My door is closed. It's okay. Whatever is here just stays here.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the worst injury that you had?
Worst injury? honestly, I've been blessed with not having a really bad injury. I think the first time I sprained my ankle, I was out for like a month. It's just been like, yeah, it's just been like small sprains, but besides that, nothing much.
Well, let's cross our fingers. Nothing
Yes.
bad in the near future. Yeah. So if you would be given a chance to choose, would you rather be a good defender or a good scorer?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would have to go with good defender because scoring wins games, but defense wins championships for sure.
Okay. So if we check your gym bag right now, what things are we going to see that will shock or surprise us?
Let's see. Maybe my Bible. I always carry with me a mini Bible.
Yes. You're indeed a Filipina.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So any message to your supporters, especially back in the Philippines? A lot were surprised when the news came out that, wow, a Filipina is going to the WNCAA, which is quite a feat. Especially you're standing, like what you said, you're just standing 5'4", when most of the people are looking for taller players. Now this is kind of a surprise and a feat for the Philippines. You have any message for your supporters?
Right. Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you for everyone who supported my decision, and it's all been positive feedback, to be honest. And just want to let you guys know that I started off not very, very good at basketball, and I don't think I'm gonna grow any taller, but it's really the work that you put in the gym, and it's really about how much you love the sport and how much you're willing to put in the work, because the results will show. And if as long as you stay close with your family, maintain a really good relationship with them, because that surely helped me, and remain having faith in God, because without him nothing would happen. Your hard work is really going to pay off. I know that even during these times, especially with COVID, sometimes it's hard to even get up and think of new drills to do. But if you check my page on Facebook, I have some drills for you guys. I promise you. I do have a YouTube channel. You guys should check it out. It's called Fajardo, and I upload a bunch of stuff there. And I'm planning to upload one of my practice sessions with my personal trainer. So you guys could definitely check that out. But I'd say just to keep working hard, and that I'm really representing you guys and thinking of you guys, and know that I have you guys on my back. But eventually I will come back home and I will rep that flag again. So thank you so much for the support.
Okay, I know it's midnight and it's time for you to rest. Of course, for a basketball player, it's time to take a rest. And you just said you just came from a basketball session, right? Practice.
Right. Yeah.
So this wraps up another episode of Extra Session this week, and I would like to thank our guest, Miss Patrice Fajardo. Thank you for spending time with us. It was indeed a great honor for us to have you in our podcast recording, and of course, good luck in your career, and hope we could have you again sometime in the near future.
Of course, I'd love to.
That's great. So this has been Kiko Malicdem on behalf of the Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate Philippines. Games are always exciting if there is an extra session.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or via RSS. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to know more, check out www.guerrillapodcast.com.au or guerrillapodcast.com.ph. A Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate production.